Mick here with HomeGrown Lincoln and United Way of Lincoln and Lancaster County. And today I'm with another business owner taking part in Serving with United Way, which is from March 14th to March 20th this year. And I have with us today Bob FitzSimmons. Bob, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you, Matt, for having me.
No problem. It's an honor, Bob. So, Bob, you are with FP Wealth Management. For those of you that are watching, Bob, what is FP Wealth Management?
Well, it's a financial planning service group. Heavily emphasis is asset management, but included in that asset management would be, say, retirement planning or college planning, maybe estate planning, those variety of areas that's important to people's financial health.
Do you guys do any sort of will creation or modification or anything like that?
No, that's legal work, and that's verboten. We don't do that, but we do work with a lot of good attorneys, and I generally send some of my clients, if they ask, that I feel like they need some help to a variety of attorneys. So we work with a number of them, of course, but no,
Awesome.
I'm not one.
No, that's okay. I know I need a will. I can tell you that. My wife's yelling at me like once a week.
Good idea.
So those of you guys watching, again, Serving with United Way is March 14th through 20th. It's brought to us by the Lincoln and Lancaster division of United Way. And it's all funds from this are going to support the CHAD campaign, which helps support local health and wellness organizations in the community. So Bob, thanks so much for your contribution to the CHAD campaign, and as well as United Way here. Why do you choose to, support United Way?
Well, I've always been charitably inclined, and one of the reasons why I continue to work is that I enjoy giving money away, believe it or not. And United Way approached me about joining one of their groups called the Tocqueville Society, which you may know. And when I went to one of their meetings, I realized that I knew a bunch of the people in that group. I'm very active in a local Kiwanis club, and that Kiwanis club picks outstanding people in the community, and there were a lot of outstanding people in that community. I said, gee, that must be a very worthwhile organization to belong to.
Awesome. Yeah,
that's how I got started.
Yeah, and it's, from the Kiwanis, to Hope Spoke to, every organization in town benefits from the work that the United Way does.
They do.
Definitely a good organization if you're going to put your money somewhere. So,
you're right.
And Bob, you're a wealth management guy, and a lot of that goes to play with donating money and charitable contributions. So, if you are deciding to, support the United Way, it must mean that it's a good cause. So.
It is. They do. They've got their act together, and I know a couple of people that are very, leaders in the organization, and they impress me about how much that particular organization does. And you may be reading articles about how nonprofits are struggling across the country.
Yep.
And I'm sure the same is true in some Lincoln circles, as they're not able to fundraise quite like they used to fundraise. Virtual fundraisers are not the same as in-person fundraisers, I'm suspecting. So yeah. There is and one of the reasons why I like this community, I've lived here almost 40 years, is just how engaged the people in this community are.
For sure. And everything you said is accurate. My wife actually works for a nonprofit, and she's a big part of fundraising and not being able to have events and fundraising events and in-person stuff, it's really taken a hit on every organization in town, as well as normal businesses. And that's why we're here today. So we've talked about the United Way here. Bob, let's get back to talking about FP Wealth Management here. How long have you guys been around?
Well, I've been doing this for about 33 years. And most of that 33 years was here in Lincoln. I came to Lincoln to work out at what was called then the Dorsey Laboratories, and then it went to another name. And so I worked there about 11 years and realized just how impressive this community was. My wife liked it, my kids liked it, and so I decided to retire early, believe it or not. I could retired at that particular place, and developed another career, which was investment planning for people, financial planning. So I'm a certified financial planner, have been for 30 years.
Wow.
So it's a long time.
That is a long time. That whole thing is something I don't think we see near as much anymore. And that's, seeing somebody retire and then go into a whole new career.
Correct. It happens, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah, for sure. Especially today, because you're kind of stuck working places a lot longer in order to, take advantage of your retirement. So good for you. So, one of my questions I usually ask, and you've kind of answered it a few times, kind of beating around the bush. What do you like most about Lincoln here?
Well, I think it's just that whole livelihood that you can enjoy in this community. It's about a reasonable size. I grew up in St. Joseph, Missouri, which is about 80-some thousand. So I was fairly comfortable, in the 100,000, but 200,000 even better. It wasn't 200,000 when I arrived, but it is today. And so I just think we have a lot of unique things going on in this community with a lot of outstanding leaders. Things that impress me the most is the university systems. We've got some great programs for the university, particularly the League Center is also attractive. And of course, the university has some pretty good sporting teams from time to time. That varies up and down, as we all know. But by and large, so I go to have season tickets to 4 different sporting events at the university. So they like us a lot. And I just think that I can get involved in the community as much as I want. And so I do devote a considerable amount of time and attention to it, as well as financially. And I also have a very thriving, successful practice. I've been doing it, as I said, for 30 years here in town. So one of my clients has just died, and he was with me for 29 years. And so when you can have those kind of length of service together, you really get to know these people, and they become an extended family. And I only have about 450 extended families. And so that's a lot to worry about and take care of. And it keeps me thriving, and I think staying young, I hope.
I'll tell you what, I'm really enjoying having these conversations with you today. Aside, Bob, from you decades of experience helping people manage their wealth, why should somebody reach out to you there at FP Wealth Management to help you with their management of their wealth? Sure.
Well, it's sometimes a daunting task, and some people can pick it up and do it on their own and require very little service, but not everybody is interested in that kind of things. And the world of financial planning, investment planning just seems to get more complicated every year. Congress, in its infinite ways, makes it difficult and challenging to know what the hell is going to happen 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years later when someone retires. But we keep our ear to the, as we would say, the proverbial Washington, D.C. information, as well as our own local legislative activities. So that's, we just provide a very valuable resource and can help people avoid mistakes, pitfalls, traps, whatever you want to call it, booby traps out there. And hopefully they retire with several 100,000 or more. You never know, but several hundred, sometimes more, sometimes less.
Oh, no, great. And again, 30 years of experience, as you've come to know, and I don't have 30 years of experience in much of anything quite yet, but what I've come to realize is things are pretty cyclical. So you've probably seen it. You can guesstimate pretty much what direction things will go for the most part. And so that experience, I would imagine, is it's extremely valuable to people. I think I just made up a word, but we'll find out later. I'll Google it. Yeah. So, yep. Bob, again, thanks so much. You guys that are watching, Serving with United Way is March 14th through 20th. Bob here has so graciously donated funds to, again, the United Way of Lincoln and Lancaster County and the CHAD campaign, which again goes to favor and help organizations that help support health and wellness and financial type organizations. So Bob, thank you so much for your participation in this and for your continued giving to the community here. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt. Pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you, guys. And call Bob. His number, name, address been scrolling on the bottom here, guys. But give him a call, give him a shot. I'm sure he'll help you guys get to retirement, whether that's in 10 years or 50 years. Bob will be here in 50 years. He looks young enough.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Take care. And thanks to you guys for watching.